Welcome back. Talking on one way within and between subject and over. This is the first example we'll be talking about. And look at the example first. So, a clinical psychologist compared the effectiveness of cognitive behavioral and psychoanalytic therapy over time. 20 people who were seeking therapy agreed to participate in the study, with 10 of the participants receiving cognitive behavioral therapy and 10 receiving psychoanalytical therapy. The participants were administered a general measure of well-being before therapy began at 8 weeks and again at 16 weeks. The well-being measure ranged from 10 to 50, with the higher scores indicating higher level of well-being. So the data is before us in this particular table, and then we have to enter the data and name the variables as therapy before week 8 and week 16. We have to state the null and the alternate hypothesis, state research questions, test for the main effect of interactions, report the effect size, and write the results in APA format. So all this is to be done in this question. So I again repeat the question. This question is about effectiveness of the two therapies, either CB, that is cognitive behavioral therapy, and psychoanalytical therapy, that is CPA, that is two therapies. We'll be calling them as CB and PA, and we have got 20 people as far as you can say respondents are concerned. The first 10 have got the CB therapy, the second 10 have got psychoanalytical therapy, and this therapy is basically related to the general measure of well-being. So how well-being is there within these people, and then we are recording data of their well-being um, in a scale format at the before the therapy is beginning, at the 8 week, and at the 16th week. So this is the data we have got, and the data that the answer we are getting is more of, you can say, in scale format. That is, you can say, where the measure is being ranged from 10 to 50, and higher the score will mean that higher is the level of well-being. So we have to conduct the test now, and I'll be straight away moving to the SPSS file where I have copied the data. So here we move to the SPSS file. This is where the data is, and this is the data file. We are moving to variable view. So this is therapy, and we have got two types of therapy I was saying. So one is one I'm naming as C. Let me write it as C B, cognitive behavioral therapy, and second is psychoanalytical. So I'm just writing PA over here. So I'm adding it here. Okay. And then I know the measure is your nominal. And then we are, you can say, talking about the, you can say, within subject factor. So we have got before. So before is basically in scale form. Second is week 8. It's again in scale form. And then we have got week 16, and this is again, you can say, in scale form. So we have got the answer as we have thought of things over here. So data view, I'm showing you again, this is how it is. Now coming to, you can say, variable view and talking about the analysis, analyze, generality model, repeated measures. I click on that. Factor is basically, you can say, within subject factor is time. It has got 3 levels. We know it, and I add it, define it, and then therapies, you can say, between subject factor, before week 8 and week 16, hidden subject factor being moved to the right hand top box. I move to option, I click on descriptive and estimates, click on continue, and then click on OK, and here we are. I'm moving you all to the new share. The new share is the output file. So we are seeing the output file right now. This is before week 8 and week 16, 1, 2, 3 therapy. We've got two therapies between subject factor, that is cognitive behavior, and psychoanalytical therapies that are being conducted. This is how the things are coming up before CB and PA. So 2020, almost same, you can say, level of well-being they are having. But as we are moving to week 8, CB is 21, PA is again 21. The difference is quite less, but difference is always there. And this difference was, you can say, apparently there in the before stage also. So nothing much is there. And week 16, if I'm talking about, well, fine, cognitive behavioral therapy, you can say people are having a higher well-being as compared to people who went for psychoanalytical therapy. So this is how the things are coming up, and we see that there is no difference as far as before is concerned, no difference as far as week 8 is concerned, but by week 8, difference gap is increasing. So this is something known to us. Not talking about all these things, just moving to, you can say, greenhouse Geister to look at the significance part with 1.358 and 24.443 as 2 degree of freedoms here for greenhouse gas. The F value comes to 7.459, significance of 007. So this is a very high, you can say, significance we are having. And since you can say significance is high, we are, you can say, accepting the results. And when we look at, you can say, I'm just moving down. So when we are looking at the results for, you can say, test within subject constraints for time, it is, you can, significant at F value of 9.778, significance of 006. And if you look at, you can say, the second one, time and therapy interaction, here you will find, again, you can say, F value 17.898, significance of 0.001. Similarly, you can look at the value of, you can say, eta square, which is effect size for time. It is 28.900 divided by sum of 28.900 plus 53.200. Similarly, for, you can say, effect size of time and therapy, it is 52.9 divided by 52.9 plus 53.2, and then we can get the answers. Now, since, you can say, we are aware about the effect size, you can say, sorry, the, you can say, the differences, you can say, are there as far as, you can say, the overall well-being is there in the week 8 16 stage, but not much, you can say, in week 8 and in the before stage. So let's see how they actually stand up statistically, and for that we'll be conducting independent sample t-test. So coming to that, moving to individual t-test, I click on here. Therapy is basically the grouping variable where I'm defining it as 1 and 2. 1 means CA, that is CB rather, that is cognitive behavior, and 2 means it is psychoanalytic. So that's there. I continue on it. I click on the three, you can say, values of, you can say, before week 8 and week 16, which are related to time, and then click on OK. And here we have got the answers here. So if you look at the t-test here, the same table is coming. So I won't talk about the table because in descriptives, we have talked about the same table a while back. So the same table is here and the same table is here. So that's more of a repetition. But look at before. For before, and talking about CB and PA, we find that t value is quite negligible. Significance is not there. So we will not see that, okay, fine. For before stage, the differences were not there. For week 8, the differences are again not much because significance is 0.802. And for week 16, the significance comes to, you can say, 0.016. This means that the difference as far as the well-being is concerned for week 16 is there, and for CB, that is cognitive behavior, it is higher. Well-being is higher than psychoanalytic therapy, and that is what the answer basically is. Now, looking at all these answers, we are moving to the new share to understand how these questions are being answered now. And for that, let me take you to this part where I have tried to, you can say, answer the questions. So here we are. So we have got the question here, and this is how I'm putting it. So this is how you can say the hypotheses have been answered. Hypothesis 1, test of therapy. Hypothesis 2, test of time. And hypothesis 3 is test of interaction. So we know how these hypotheses have been defined. Second is, you can say, state a research question for the data. So I've put the research questions here. Then talking about the test, the main effect of interaction. So this is how it is being done. So the answer is before you. You can read the answer and see, you can say how the answers are being mentioned here. And then maybe you can say what the effect size for ANOVA. This again I'm mentioning based on the data information I'm getting. And finally I'm coming with the final answer of the question. So I was just more interested in telling you the steps that I have followed in answering this question. The answer is before you. You can read the answer and see to it that what it actually means and how the things have been sorted out. So this is all about, you can say, this question on one way, you can say one way between, and you can say within subject and over. So I suppose this question of ours will actually help you out in understanding the concept. This week I'll not be giving you any assignment because I do understand that this question requires a lot of, you can say, viewing on your part to see it, how the things are. And maybe you can say when you look at this question, you better will understand the very concepts. So please go through the example also and this exercise one question also for the things. And in case you have any queries or issues on this topic of ours, you can please, you can say, revert and talk to me as far as you can say the questions are there. So thank you talking to you. It was nice. Thank you again.